part we already explained in our previous class. Okay, now we are stepping into the new topic from the Python programming language, which is the file handling.
I was actually having an issue with
Mm-hmm.
like importing one of the
Mm-hmm.
those semi-defined packages that we talked about.
Mm.
Um,
Which package?
I thought was PyTorch, and I was trying to
Okay,
install that thing in Anaconda, and it was like for some reason it wasn't
okay.
doing it. So I
That
don't know
means
like what's the
yeah,
procedure to do it on Windows.
no problem. That we will do in a deep learning concept. Okay, so we have a deep learning
So
concept is the right. By the time I would like to
okay,
go explain about TensorFlow, PyTorch, and everything, we will discuss about it. Okay.
okay, thank you.
Yep. Mhm. Up. Let's go for create the new folder. Title folder. No. So today date is 11 11 2022. We were talking about Python file handlings. So it's a very important topic actually. So when you're working with some kind of companies, we need to handle the files, okay, with help of the Python programming language. That concept we'll discuss now. Let's go for the click on the Python 3, and there we can able to write the untitled here. Okay, and we should like to know give the name of it, 11 and 11 and 2022, the Python file handling. Okay, so you already having a knowledge on a file handling with help of the OS, right? So we can create the doc files and text files, image files, everything we will handle in a OS level, right? But now we would like to do with help of the Python programming language. Okay, my question is here. So we just click on the markdown, and there we should write, the concept is what is file. So what is a file? So tell me what is file? What is file, guys? Tell me.
uh, Contains data,
So file is
holds
nothing
data.
but it's absolutely correct. Okay, to store some data in a permanently, right? To store the data in a hard disk, right? If you want to store the data in a hard disk, then we can use the files concept. Previously, you have a concept of variables. Variables are temporary storage devices. Okay, so we can store the data in a RAM actually. Okay, it's not storing in the data in a hard disk. But now we would like to go for store the data on hard disk in a permanent manner. Then we can go ahead the files concepts. Yes or no? So we can allocate some kind of space, and the space we are giving some name, that's we are calling it's a file name, and with that particular space we can hold the some kind of a data. Clear? Is it clear or not?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now so there are two types of files are there. How many files? There are two types of files we have it. What are those files? So it might be text files, or it might be, okay, binary files. So coming to the text files, what exactly the text files are doing? Text files means the file it contains the alphanumerical data. Okay, file can have file it can be collecting only alphanumerical things, that we are calling it's a text files. So we have a lot of examples for the text files, like .doc files or .ppt files, okay, or else .pdf files, whatever it is. Okay, something you can easily write it, something we can easily read it by human being, that we are calling it a text files. And coming to the binary files, here the file it contains the binary 0 and binary 1. Okay, so the file it can be created with help of the binary 0 and binary 1, that we are calling it same binary files. Okay, the examples of binary files could be image files or video files, .exe files, executable files. .exe means, okay, and object files, different kind of things. So here the files it can have only zeros and ones only. Okay, so when the file it might be contains the zeros and ones, that we are calling it a binary files. When the file it can be contains the alphanumerical things, that we are calling it say text files. Clear? So here these are the files we can do on this particular files we can do some kind of operations. Those operations we are calling it same file operations. What are the file operations we have it? The first one is the sometimes we can able to go for creating the files. This is also an operation or not? Creating the file. And second one is the opening the file. Okay, and third one is the closing the file. Okay, and we can able to write the data into the file, that we can call it writing the data into the file. Okay, and fifth one is the and reading the data from the file. Okay, so like we can do some kind of operations on the files. Okay, these are the basic operations we can do in a OS level. Okay, so the same operations I want to do with help of the Python programming language, that we can call it say file handling with help of the Python. Okay, what is mean that file handling? File handling means performing the file operations with Python, that we are calling it a Python file handling. Is it clear or not? Any questions?
No.
All right. So there we have different kind of so there it can be providing some kind of predefined functions. The name of the function is open function. So this open function, the first argument is we have to providing the file name and which mode we are opening the file, that also you have to provide it. Okay, so this is the open function. It can help you to open the file, Is it clear? When it is open the file, if the file open was successful, then it can be creating the then returns the file object. Return the file object. Once the file was created, or once the file is opened successfully, then it can be returns the file object. So with help of the file object only, we can performing the operations with help of the Python programming language. Then only we can perform the operations. Then only we can performing the operations. Is it clear? Any questions are there? So here file open is the function. With help of the open function, we can create the file. Once if we creating the file, okay, then what we can do, it can be returns the one particular file object. Once the file object is created, then we can performing the operations on the file actually. Okay, clear? Let's talk about the what kind of mode of operations we can do in the file. So the first mode of operation is write mode. Second mode of operation is append mode. Third mode of operation is read mode. Okay, see whether it is the write mode or append mode, whatever it is. Okay, so which having some kind of properties here. If the file was not existed, when you're opening the file in write mode, if the file is not existed, the file is not existed, then what happens? Then create the file. Okay, then create the file. In the meanwhile, in append mode also, if the file is not existed but you're opening the file in append mode, then file can be created. Okay, Now here we have a read operation. Read in the sense, if the file is not existed, then it can be raised an error. Raise the file not found error. Is it clear my point? Carefully observe here. If the file is not existed, if you open the file in read mode, I can tell you what exactly the read mode in our upcoming examples. Okay, we have small differences between the write mode, append mode, and read mode. Read mode, it can help you when the file is already existed, then only it can be open it. Otherwise, it can be raised an error. That means it is not written the any file object. But for example, if the file is not existed, then it can be open the file actually. Clear? So it can be open the file, as well as before that one it can be created actually. Then open it. First file can be created, then it can be open it. Then open it. Okay. Are you following these 3 points or not? There we should give you the file name. So which file you want to be operated, that particular file name you should give as an input here, and the mode, it could be the second argument. If the mode, it may be write mode or append mode or read mode. I need confirmation, guys. I don't know why you're not speaking at all.
But I just have a question regarding like what's the exact difference between a write mode and append mode? Because if you're trying to append into a file,
that everything I will do practically. You don't worry about it. Just we can look for it. If the file is not existed, if you want to create it, so which mode you want to be for it? Either write mode, either append mode. Okay. If the file is already created, if you want to open it without any error, then we can go for the read mode. That's a small difference. Okay. And now here file is already existed. If the file is existed, here I'm theoretically I'm explaining with same thing we will do with the practically. Don't worry about it. Okay. File, if the file is existed with some data, then what happens? Then file can be open. Okay. So here also we can look for it. If the file is existed with some data, here also file can be open it. Then what is the difference? Now your question.
So if you do let's say if you're using the write mode, does the if you're trying to write to a file that already exists, does it like replace the old data with the new data?
So if the file is existed with some data, the file can be open.
Right.
But whatever the
and if you're in the write mode,
yes, the data can be lost.
Gotcha.
Okay, whatever the data we have in file, that entire data can be lost. Then it can be open the file in a fresh mode. So file is having the 1000 lines of code. Okay, you open the file in write mode, the 1000 lines of data can be deleted automatically. Okay, lost means here deleted. Okay. So but in case of append mode, file can be open, but the data can be safe. Clear? And one more thing,
yes,
we have one more difference between a write mode and read mode. We can write the data anywhere in a program. Okay, we can write the data anywhere in the file. For example, here the cursor is moving, right? Here also we can write it, or else here also we can write it, right? Wherever you want to be write it, we can write with the help of the write mode. But here, in case of append mode, you open the file in append mode. If you want to write it, we can write at end of the file only. We can write the data at end of the file. Clear? So we can write the data at end of the file only. But if we are opening the file in write mode, wherever you want to write it, we can write it. But append mode, it especially write at end of the file only. Okay. And one more small difference we have it. I just want to understand the read mode as well. Okay. So here what happens? If the file is existed with some data, file data can be safe or lost. Of course, file data can be safe. Otherwise, you can't read it, right? If you want to read any information, first of all, the data should be available, right? If you delete it by the time of opening, then what is the meaning of to open the file in read mode? Okay. So And so here we have few more differences are there. So when you're opening the file, we can in write mode we can open in two ways, either W, either W plus. So W and W plus means it's a sub options in the write mode. Sub options in the write mode, W and W plus. Whether it is a W mode or W plus mode, these are the three things could be the common. Okay, you open the file in append mode in a two options, two sub options. One is the A and A plus. Okay, so whether you open the file in either A or A plus, these are the three options could be common. Okay, now you open the file in R mode or R plus mode. So even if you open the file in R mode or R plus mode, the above two options are same. Okay, there is no change at all. But if you open the file in write mode, we can only write, not read, not to read. So this when you try to open the file in write mode, and we can try to read the data with help of the read method, it is not possible. Read operations are not possible. But if you open the file in write mode, but I want to do the read operations as well, okay, we can read and write on file. This is the small difference between the W and W plus. W and W plus both are write mode only. These are the three options could be the common, but the difference between the W and W plus is W only for read, only for write. W plus both read and write. Okay. So now here append means only writing it on the file, right? At end of the file. Okay, not to read, not to read. Read is not possible. Okay, and when you open the file in A mode, but when you open the file in A plus mode, both read and write can be possible, and we can read entire file. Okay, now R mode is nothing but only read operations can be possible, only read, not for write, not to write. I hope you clear my points. Why I am writing this all steps? So this everything we will do the practically. Both can read and write. Any questions, guys? So for understanding in a better way, to understand, we'll go for the small examples. Okay, and before that one, I want to introduce that some few functions. If you want to handle the file operations, the Python is providing that some kind of file operation methods. File operational methods. File operational methods. What are the operational methods are there in Python? The first one is the write method. If you want to write the data into the file, we can use the write method. Okay. Next one is if you want to read the data into the file, we can use the read method. Okay. And we have one more thing is there. If you want to close the file, we can use the close method. And we have a method is open method. It can be used to open the file. Okay, and we have one more method is there. If you want to know that where the cursor is available, for that one we can use the tell method. Okay, and we have one more method which is a seek method. With the help of this one, we can move the cursor front and back. Okay, left and right. So basically these are the methods which can help you. Basically these are the methods it can help you to do some kind of operations on files with help of the Python programming language. Clear?
Yes.
Let's do a small example. Let's go for understanding the write mode. Whatever I mention here that I'm copying, and whether it is supported or not, we'll do with small example. Okay, so write mode, right? If the file is not existed, then what happens? We are going to be opening the file, and the name of the file is sample.txt, and the file name, it should be in a text format, okay, or else in a single quotes. So you're opening the file in write mode. Okay, if the file is not existed, whether it is opened or not, we'll see now. We can able to go for creating one particular object. To store that one, we can use any one of the variable. and after that one I would like to go for close it. Okay, careful observe here, within this particular location I have only one file, that is file handling interactive Python notebook. So if I executed this one, if I execute this one, this is the step is doing actually. So sample.txt file, which is not there in my local computer, if I'm executing this one, file can be created. Whether it is a file is created or not, if you want to know it, then we can go for open your folder and we can refresh it. See here the file was created or not. This is the sample.txt file which is not there previously. It was just created in a few seconds ago. Who created this one? Who created this one? This program.
It's the open operation.
Yes, this program is created. Okay. Now intentionally, I open the file. Okay, I'm writing some text. This is a text file. Okay, I have 5 lines. Okay, I have 5 lines. Just this kind of text we have it. Save it and close it. Again we can open it manually. The file is there and which is having the 5 lines, right? Now what I can do, same program I can execute. Same program I can execute. If I execute the same program, then what happens? This is the thing will happen. So previously we have a 5 lines of data is there, right? That 5 lines can be deleted. Whether 5 lines can be deleted or not, if you want to know it, then simply we can go for open the sample.txt. Previously I only written the 5 lines and this 5 lines can be deleted when you're executing the same program one more time. Is it clear?
Yes.
If these two steps is clear, if the file is opened in W mode, okay, so file is not existed, then it can be created. File is already existed with some data. Okay, the file can be opened, but the data can be lost. Same things we can do with help of the W plus. In case of W plus, so I would like to go for open the sample1.txt. Sample1.txt file which is not there, we have only sample.txt file is there. If I run this one, file is not available previously, but when you refresh it, the file is available. Okay, it was just created only seconds ago. Who created this one? W plus mode is created. Okay, here also what I can do, I would like to write some text here. I am sample txt text file. I have only 3 lines. Now we can close it. For confirmation, we can open this one. File is available. We can close this one. Same program we can run one more time. So if we run it again, we can go for open the sample.txt file, and previously we have a 3 lines of data is there. The data can be deleted. Any questions regarding about this 4 examples? For looking, this program is same, but what happening in the backend, that you should understand. Yes or no? Any questions?
You said with the W plus, you said we can read and write, right?
Yeah, that I will show you. Just for, as of now, we can try to understand the common things between the W and W plus mode. Okay. The common things between the W and W plus is, if the file is not there, we can create. If the file is existed with some data, file data can be lost. So by this time, both are same as of now. Just now, I would like to go for difference between the W mode and W plus mode. Okay, I open the file in W mode and I want to write some information. So if you want to write it, we can use the write method, and followed by the what data, if you want to write it, we can mention it. Okay, I am writing the data into the file, okay. So execute this one, you can able to do it, right? So whether this sample1.txt, I am writing the data into the file is available or not, we'll look now. Previously I don't have any data, but right now we have some data. This is the data who written it. From this particular program, you are writing this text into the sample1.txt file. Clear or not? Same thing.
Yes.
Same thing we can do with help of the w plus. With help of the w plus, now what I can do, I'm going to be writing the data into the sample.txt, not sample1.txt. Okay, so in case of W plus mode, if I'm writing the data into the file, before that one, we just go on to check it. Is there any data previously? I don't have any data. If I run this particular program, with help of the W plus mode, you can able to write the data into this particular file. Okay, so whatever the content we written it here, that same data can be writing into that existing file. Anyway, as of now, no difference. Now what I would like to do it, I open the file in write mode. I already told you, right? With help of the tell method, I would like to know it where the cursor is available. So when the file opened, by the time the file cursor could be in the 0 location. How should I know that? With help of the tell method. And after writing the data, I want to know that where the cursor is available. Okay, again we can use the f.tell. Then I already told you, with help of the seek method, we can set the file at the beginning of the file. Beginning of the file in the sense 0, 0. Okay, 0, 2 in the sense end of the file. So I set the cursor at the beginning of the file. So after you set the cursor at the beginning of the file, I want to know that where the cursor is available. With help of the print method, I will do it. Now, intentionally, I would like to read it. For reading, we can have a function is read method. If I use the read method, it can be read the data. After you read all the data, again, I just want to know that where the cursor is available. We just go for print the cursor. By the time, this is the method which is not possible to open the it's not possible to read the file content with help of the read method, because of you open the file in w mode. So syntax error. So this is the because of syntax error. See, till here it is fine. So initially the cursor location is 0 and you're writing these 35 characters, so that the cursor location is 35. Again, because of this one, you're getting this output. Okay, now you set the position at 0, 0, so that the cursor which is showing that 0. After that one, in the 7th line, you're trying to be reading the data from the file. The data can be lost. I mean, it's not possible to read it because of it's opened the file in a write mode. Same thing if I do in W plus mode, the above program, it can be won't give any error. See, I'm writing the data into the file. This is the data only we read from this particular file. Here it's not getting an error. We can read it. That's a small difference, guys. Here unsupported file operation, because of you open the file in W mode, you can't read it. You're opening the file in W plus mode, we can write as well as we can read it. Any questions? Any questions?
No.
No, right? Now what we can do, I just want to give you some assignment for you. Okay, so write a program to insert, okay, your phone numbers, mail IDs, okay, mail IDs and address. Then write a program to the new file. Okay, then after write a program, separate program, 2 programs you should write it. Write a program to read your data from the previous file, from your new file. Okay, so you can able to read that whatever the data you are inserting in your previous file. Okay. See, this is the two programs we can do it yourself. That's for Python class, guys. Tomorrow, what we can do, we can go for understanding the append mode and read mode. If you want to understand the append mode and read mode, make sure that this is the right mode you should understand. That's the reason I'm giving some time to understand, and you just go and practice it.
I'm sorry. Do you also apply the same things when you're reading in the
Of course we
data
can do
from
it.
the
Of course we
X,
can do it. Of course we can do it. Here my
like
question is,
uh,
yes, Ravan.
like from the Excel file or from CSV files?
Everything we can do it. Everything we can do it.
Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna show it in the later sessions, right? About that.
That we can do in a pandas and other stuff. There also again we are working with the files only, right? Data sets which are available in CSV files, which are available in
Okay.
text files. Okay. So different
Okay.
packages which are available. So those we can import and we can work with the JSON files. We can work with XML files. Okay. We can work with CSV
Okay.
files. We can work with the different databases. Okay. But the way of approach could be the similar, almost similar. So why I'm giving why I'm not explaining append mode and read mode this time? So I can explain it, but thing is that what is happening in a backend you could not understood in a proper way. So that if you're practicing this example, whatever executed, and if you do this particular assignment, then if I go for explaining append mode and read mode, within a few minutes only we can understand. Okay. Hopefully you got
So
it my
what
point.
is the what like being like getting into like this data analysis in Python? What is the most sophisticated way of like reading the data? Because usually I think the data gets more like into a structured
See,
format. It usually comes in Excel files or
this is unstructured data. This is the text files are working on unstructured files, right? Okay.
okay.
So when you go for data analysis, that's what my previous class I explained. Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib. Okay, there the data it was a semi-structured format. So we would like to make it the data into the structured format. For that one, we are going to be using the pandas. That is, we are already discussing in a pandas. I mean, statistics class in a previous week. Okay, last week.
And like this thing is gonna help us to like what is the
Intro.
you
It's
get a
just
text
intro.
file?
It's just intro. It's just a basic level.
Okay.
Okay, it's a basic level. It's not doing anything in a real world. Okay, so this is the
Right.
outdated things. Okay, but we have a lot of standard packages are there to handle that specific files. If you want to be work with JSON files, JSON
Mm-hmm.
supported package which are already there in Python, that you should import it and we can do it, but the approach is same. The approach is
Got
same.
you.
Okay, here also
Because
we will do
let's
it.
say
Here also we
if
will
you're
do it.
receiving a file, if you're
Yes,
receiving a file like with delimiters and stuff
yes,
like that, and
log
you want
files.
to place them into different categories,
Yes,
so you're gonna use pandas for that.
yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
The only
No problem.
difference is that those things and this is the base level. If you understood this one, those libraries you can easily understand. Okay, those libraries how they
Okay.
are trading you can easily understand. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, guys. Bye. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
Just come for stats class. We will discuss about measure of dispersions with some examples.